Everybody, thank you for joining today. So we're starting a little earlier today, but today we will continue with the business needs, with the topic of the needs. Today we're gonna talk about um, building a sales team that actually closes. That's the topic for today. So if you have a friend who might need some information about how to build a sales team, or they already have one, or they want to improve their current one, maybe invite them to this stream. Every week we talk about business topics, and today again this is the topic. And let me share my screen real quick here. Perfect. So this is our topic for today: building a sales team that actually closes. The number one thing is you have to have a step-by-step sales process. And actually, in the next session, we're going to talk about the specific 11 steps that you should have. These are the this is your sales process step by step, but then one of these steps will have 11 steps, okay? So, the basics, the first question I would ask my team is, any member of my sales team, I will ask, hey, tell me what is our step process, our step-by-step sales process. Give me the process. If they are like, oh, I don't know, then that's a problem. They don't know what the process is. If they're like, oh, I have 10 steps, or I have only 2 steps, or then it's wrong. Define your step process and make sure that your team knows it. This is an example of a step-by-step sales process. These are 6 steps for your process. Greet with confidence, right? So you answer a phone call and you greet with confidence. You find the real need of that person. You show clear value. You present your offer simply. You close with certainty. And then you follow up consistently. That's a sales process. In each one of these, you'll have to do some things, right? You'll have to have steps, you'll have to ask questions, you'll have to know what to do in each of these. But everything starts with the definition of your process. If you don't have a process defined, that's where you want to start. Okay, and you can start with this, and then you can modify to what you need. You will start training your team on the sales process until everybody knows it. um, they have and if you ask them, they will say these 6 things. Every single one of them will say the same thing. If you achieve that, then you have a sales process. But if everybody's doing something different, no, you don't have a process. A process is something that you can do over and over and over. You will know the outcome because you have a process defined. So again, this process that I'm presenting, it's an example. Greet with confidence, find their real need, show clear value, present your offer simply, close with certainty, and follow up consistently. And then on each of these, we will expand a little bit more. Um, so why the style kills consistency? Meaning, if you allow everybody to do their own thing, you will have unpredictable results. You don't want that. You want to have predictable results. You want to understand your business. You want to know this works, this doesn't work. We're open to explore something new, but we know these work. So keep doing this. So again, if everybody is doing their own thing, it's unpredictable. And you want consistency. If you don't have a standard, There is no way to measure or improve because everybody's doing their own thing. You don't have KPIs. You cannot measure people on the same things. Maybe one is only calling and the other one is only sending texts. You cannot measure who is doing better because they're not doing the same. So you need to standardize your process. And look at this today topic. I'm not talking about, oh, you should ask this question on this way and this tone of voice. That's not the meaning of today. Today we're talking about the process itself. We're talking about how to standardize, how to organize your team so that everybody's doing the same thing. Once you understand the process, then we include the other part, right? The how to. This is the what, and then the how you're doing it will be next. Um, a consistent process will give you repeatable wins, and that's what you want. That's what will give you the money you need, right? You know, okay, if I follow this process, I know that on average for every 100 leads, I'm closing 10. So if I want to close 100, I need 1,000 leads. So that's something predictable, repeatable, something that will give you the wins that you need, is consistent. If something happens, because it can happen that you are being very consistent through the months and then one month, boom, down. What happened? But if everybody's doing the same and you didn't change anything on your process, then maybe it's an external something. For example, a change in laws, a change in your community, a change in the state, a change. Something could have changed. A new product was released, or that now you need to redo your process. You need to improve it. But if your process is consistent and you can repeat it, you're on the right path. Um, so thank you for the people who's joining. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay, next slide. So who hire and who train? Who, who, who to hire and who to train? Sorry. Um, closer bring fast results. So people who is able to close deals. That's people you want. Hungry talent that can be trained into closers. People who wants to. I This is my personal preference. If I found someone who maybe don't have experience in selling, but they are hungry, they're like, oh, I want that commission. I need to do this so that I get a commission. That's the kind of people I want. The hungry talent, people who can be trained in what they do. They have to have certain mm, skills, maybe not experience in sales, but skills that make them good sellers. Um, look for drive over experience. That's what I'm trying to say. Is I rather someone who will be driven into, oh, I love that product. I don't know. Let's say you're selling soccer products, soccer accessories, or tennis shoes, something like that. Someone who is passionate about that product that can sell it because he's like, oh, I've used it, I love it, it's so much better because this and that. I prefer someone like that, driven over experience. Someone with 10 years of experience in sales and they're probably lazy. So hungry talent and the drive. What drives them? Don't settle for people who just look busy. That is so important because you're hiring someone who will sell for you. But if that person is just like they sit down on the computer and they do nothing, they're on Facebook all day, they're not selling, they're not making calls, they give every single excuse they can. Oh, I'm so busy because I have so many clients. If you have so many clients, why are you not closing them? It's not looking busy. It's what you need is someone who's not wasting time to sell. They're selling everything they can. That's my personal preference. And I would add one more in here that is they are organized. A lot of people they can be good sellers, but because it's your company, you need to have reports. You need to have KPIs. You need to follow a process. If your sales rep cannot follow a process, cannot be organized, cannot give you KPIs, cannot track what he's doing, cannot track, oh, I spent 2 hours calling, I called 20 people. If they cannot give you that number, they don't work. They don't, because you cannot predict what will happen. You don't, if they're not calling enough and they're not tracking what they're, how many calls they're making, you have no way to help, to improve. So on top of this hungry and drive and people who actually wants to do the job, you need someone who can be organized, who can follow instructions. Now, the best the best sales reps, they want money usually. They know if they sell, they will have commission, and they're driven by that. And if one of the things I asked in my interviews when I'm hiring a sales rep, I ask, hey, what would you like? What is your salary expectation right now? What would you like to be making in 10 years from now? And if they don't have an expectation of growing their salary, they're like, he had $200 more. I'm like, okay, this is not for me. This is not the one that I want to hire. That's something important that you need to take into consideration, like their drive. Okay. Um, this next slide, the three numbers that show the truth, the closing percentage. Um, Once you have a process, you have KPIs, you're following the process. You can calculate these things. So, what is your closing percentage? Are you winning enough deals? Is it too low? Is it actually too high? You will know the truth if you can get these numbers. Appointments booked and the pipeline healthy. Is the pipeline healthy? Um, are you like you're getting 100 leads? Are you scheduling only one of them of the 100? Maybe 10, maybe 20. It's like you go from the bigger number to the smaller number, right? So you get a lot of leads, you get then appointments, and then you get the closings. But if something is broken there, you won't get the results that you're looking for. Follow-ups missed. Where money is leaking? You need to find doing follow-ups. Like a lot of people forget about their appointments, and if you just do a simple follow-up, it'll be way easier to track where you like. Oh no, I'm following up and they don't come. It's not your fault. I'm not following up. Then you have a leak. So these are three things that you should pay attention to. This will help you to close more deals. You should have weekly questions. Every little every leader should ask, are you closing enough deals? Are we following that up fast? Who dropped the ball this week? What can we improve right now? These are questions the leader should ask himself to go and get the answers. No, we're not closing enough deals. Okay, where is the problem? How can we fix it? Oh, I don't know. Our leads pipeline was broken. No, we're not doing follow ups fast enough. We're losing clients to the other people because we're not following up. So if the leader asks these questions to himself, he can check with the team. He can direct them into, hey, this is the strategy for this week. We're not closing enough. We're gonna change this so that we're releasing this offer. It's it's taking the lead into what is happening. And to do that, you need to know that your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you're not able of making these kind of decisions because you don't know the numbers. Are we closing enough deals? I don't know how many have we closed this week. I don't know. I don't know how many we had to close, and I don't know if we closed enough. So you need to know your numbers. Some final thoughts. A sales team is either an engine or an anchor. So think about it. Meditate on this. Is your team an engine or an anchor? What is happening? If you have to change something, change it. Train every day, audit every week. If nobody is being audited, maybe they're not tracking what they have to track. Maybe they're not following up, even though they tell you yes. If you don't audit, you don't know. So train every day, but audit every week. Scaling doesn't happen by luck, it happens by process and people. Yes, you have to have something repeatable. That's why you need a process. So if you want to scale in your sales, get a process in place. Okay. Thank you again for everybody who's joining or who joined. Um, if you have any questions, let me know. And I want you to know that I have a link for a free consult in my website. So you can go to navasautomation.com and you can schedule a free consultation with me. If you need help with your sales team, with your marketing, with your website, please give me a call and I'll be happy to help you. So I'll see you next week. Don't forget to follow so that you get these notifications when I open a new streaming. Thank you. I'll see you next time.